Hello, little lady. Would you like to come in? There she is. Alrighty. Hello, you guys. It's Dani, and welcome back to another video. So I'm gonna start today's video by asking you a question, and I'll just ask it. I'm not even gonna give a preface for it. Why do you do the things you do? In this question, I'm not asking you to look at the very surface level answers like, oh, I read because it's fun. I'm asking you to look at the deeper implications as to why you do something. So let me get into the context of what I'm talking about. I was talking with a friend about a week ago, and in this conversation, he was talking about his dad's business and how he's kind of in line to become the future owner slash manager slash CEO. I don't really know what the position is, but whatever. And during this conversation, at one point, he started talking about like the whole vision that he has of all the things he wants to do. And he's like, I think we could expand a bit more, start having little hubs and maybe, hire people that think like this and this and this and this. And I saw his eyes like light up and feel inspired. And I could literally see like a timeline for him essentially where he owns this business and runs this business and gets this really strong sense of... What? Dude, if you want me to let you in here when I film, you gotta understand the assignment, okay? Where he feels so fulfilled and so satisfied by this life of being able to completely renovate and improve and expand this business. And then as the conversation went on, he started to talk about more of his fears and his worries. And he started saying, I understand that maybe in these meetings I might have to be a little more polite, or I might have to be this way, or I might have to be that way. And I could see his energy literally start to condense and close off as he got scared, I suppose, about the potential things that could happen. And then also his resistance to even taking on this position out of the fear of, what if I don't even do as good as my dad? Or what if I'm not able to bring all of these improvements to the business that I envision? And as I'm listening to him talk about this, I kind of realized something. And I asked him this exact question. Why do you make the decisions that you do? Why do you do anything? And he kind of starts avoiding the answers by just going more into depth with problems or ideas or solutions. And I'm like, no, I need you to come back to this specific question. When you make a decision, are you trying to find a sense of worthiness or avoid this sense of I'm not good enough or there's something wrong with me? Are you trying to make decisions in hopes that the external world evokes feelings in you that don't confirm these fears or limiting beliefs that you hold deep down? Or are you making decisions because you're following the satisfaction of this vision? There's this fire inside of you that tells you like, goddamn, like I want to do that. If you are into spiritual ideology at all, like I am, obviously, then you probably hear about love-based versus fear-based realities a lot. And I guess one of my biggest qualms with this whole topic is the idea of we kind of shame fear-based ideology or living in a fear-based reality. And yet we don't look at why we have that in the first place. Me asking you, for example, to just completely ditch living in a fear-based reality and only make your decisions from a place of love is like me saying like, hey, look, this fight or flight response that you had that literally made it so that our species could survive and exist? Yeah, fuck that. Screw your ancestors. That's like so outdated. That's like so BC of you, right? I mean, in reality, this force is so strong within us, this force that has us move away from fear, because we literally had to move away from things that we were scared of. If we just didn't get into that fight or flight response, for example, when there was imminent danger, like another group of humans attacking us or a bear running after us or whatever it may be, if we didn't have that fear response, we legitimately would not have survived to be the species that we are today. We flat out would not exist. Where the issue comes is the fact that we have developed this fear response in terms of maintaining connection with others. Because our species has thrived as a social and tribal species. And so we have learned, if I identify with the culture or the environment around me, and I align myself to the people around me, and basically separate from the truth of who I am to exist in this society and this culture so that I am accepted and so that I fit in, and my cat is deciding to use this as a scratching post. That is great. Every single person that has not really looked in the mirror is purely a result of their natural biology combined with their environment, combined with whatever their culture or peers or family told them to value, and either they aligned to those things heavily so that they could be accepted, or they couldn't align to it so they became a rebel towards it, and by being a rebel they're still controlled by it. That's a whole other topic for a whole other day, the idea that rebellion is not freedom from something but really just opposition towards it, and because you're still so focused on it you're actually controlled by it. But that's a topic for another day. But anyways, if we were immortal beings, then it would make no sense for us to have any fear-based programming in us at all. But since we are physical beings, and since we are mortal beings, and since if a bear chases after me, chances are your girl's done. Sorry. It makes sense for us to still have this way of operating. However, when it comes to, for example, me running my YouTube channel, does it make sense for me to make the decisions I make for this channel from a place of fear? Is it possible that making fear-based decisions could mean more growth on YouTube? Perhaps it could. However, what reality am I creating from that set of choices? What life am I manifesting from me making choices from that point of fear? If I make videos, multiple videos a week, because I feel like I have to make videos in order for people to take me seriously, or in order for me to be successful, or in order for me to do what I love becoming lucrative, I am never creating out of the love of creation. I am always creating from the fear of not being seen. I put my opinion out there because I'm afraid of my voice doesn't mean anything. My opinion doesn't mean anything. So I'm going to film a video and put it out on the internet in hopes that maybe someone will see it, and then maybe I'll finally feel like what I have to say is good enough. But I'm doing that to avoid the belief I have deep down that I am worthless. The belief that there is something wrong with me. Nobody cares what I have to say. But simply by trying to act in avoidance of feeling this belief or this truth is a confirmation that I believe it to be true. When we're making decisions from this place of avoidance, when we're making decisions from this place of I don't want to feel like there's something wrong with me, I don't want to feel like I'm not good enough, I don't want to feel like I'm about to die, right? Duh. I'm still in this fight or flight. So imagine you're running from this thing just in the way that in the physical world, our ancestors were running from danger. The difference is, if they stopped running and turned around, the thing that was attacking them, like a bear, would kill them, and they'd be dead. So it makes no sense for them to stop and turn around and face whatever's coming towards them so that they don't have to run anymore. But for you and for me, we're running from something abstract. We're running from this idea of, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel worthless. We're running from something that we're already experiencing. So what if, instead of running from this thing, we turned around and actually collided with it? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it feels good. Sitting there and letting your fear collide into you like a fucking tsunami usually doesn't feel that good. It usually feels pretty shitty. But at the end of the day, we have that choice. What if you didn't have to avoid anything ever? What if you were resilient enough where you knew that anything that came your way was something that you could hold space for? Something that you could deal with, something that you could figure out. But you're not even giving yourself that chance because you're constantly trying to run around it. And so the reality you're going to create is going to be a fraction of what you could, because so much of your energy and your life force is being funneled into running away from something that is no longer a danger to you. How can I be at peace if I'm constantly running away from something? It's an echo from the past, and you're running from an echo. You're running from something that isn't even there anymore, because the idea of I am worthy or I am unworthy are just abstract concepts that we've developed and made up to make sense of why our life is the way it is and why it feels the way it is. And here we are trying to form every decision we make around it instead of building a life based off of what we truly value and what we truly want. But how can we know what we truly want if we're so heavily identified with the character or the persona that we developed to survive? And look, we can logically make any reasoning for why we did something or make any excuse for why we did something. You can make fear-based decisions all day and convince yourself that you're doing all of it from a place of love. And that's all fine and that's all dandy, and you have free will and you can do whatever the hell you want. But if you really want your life to feel like one that is based on love and not on fear, you have to start making that your focus. And look, I am not perfect. This is a practice. And so to expect yourself to just, oh, once I know that I have to operate from a place of love, I'm just going to do it. It's not that simple. This is deeply ingrained in our human nature. This is deeply ingrained into our society. It's important for us to create these little reminders in our head where we start to ask ourselves, okay, wait, why am I making this decision? So really looking at why you make the decisions you do will completely shift your life. Because do you want to be in a relationship with someone because you want to feel like you're worthy of love? Because believe me, every single time you're trying to get an ounce of their affection, to try to pull away from this idea that you're not good enough or you feel worthless, and you're trying to get them to validate you so that you can get this hit that pulls you away from that feeling, you're going to be willing to accept relationships where all you get is little drops of love and attention and affection, and you may even be willing to get into relationships with someone who is not compatible to you, and then you build your life around them instead of the two of you being like, oh my God, what we want out of life may not be exactly the same, but it is very compatible. And so you together as a unit build a life together and build that reality with the both of you, instead of you trying to fit yourself into someone's reality or trying to get someone else to fit into your reality. And it's just like there's always chaos and tension and having to avoid certain conversations or avoid certain feelings or topics or whatever it is because you're so desperate to maintain this connection. What do you want? And based on what you want is the reason you're making the decisions you're making in alignment to that life that you want to live right now. Why do you make the decisions you do? And regardless of what that answer is, I love you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please hit that button. If you'd like to see more of me, then subscribe. If you're extra cool, then hit the notification bell. And if you are just literally the most boss-ass person, then please consider hitting the join button and joining the Foxx tribe. I make content there as well, and you know, it's pretty cool. All right, thank you guys. I love you guys, and have an amazing day. See ya. Also, want to see my filming setup? A bunch of books and a light. I am a professional YouTuber. Yeah. All right, goodbye.